So today I'm going to talk about multi-step equations. We have got a multi-step equation here. We've got negative 36 plus a is equal to negative 2 plus 7 times the quantity 3 plus 8a. So let's go ahead and start. The first thing I want to do is draw my line right down the middle. So I can remember to do whatever I do on one side. When I'm doing my inverse operations, I need to do on the other side. The first thing I want to check is, can I distribute? And I can, but we've got parentheses, so I can distribute. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is a positive 7 times 3, so that gives me plus 21. A positive 7 times a positive 8a gives me plus 56a. Got to fill in the rest of my equation that's there. I still have my negative 2, and this side remains unchanged. So I've done the distributive property. So I can check that off. Now the next thing I want to do is see if there's anything that I can combine on either side of these equations. On either side of the equation. On this one, negative 36 plus a, I can't combine anything. On this side, I have a negative 2, positive 21, and a positive 56a. I can combine that negative 2 and that positive 21. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. My left side remains unchanged. I'm going to go ahead and write that again. I always rewrite all of my equations so I can keep everything in the same line. Negative 2 plus 21 is a positive 19 plus 56a. So I've combined. Now the next thing I want to do is see if I have variables on one side of my equation. I actually have variables on both sides, so I want to get them on one side. I'm going to look for my variable that has the smaller coefficient. We have an a by itself, so we've got a 1 for coefficient, positive 56a. So I'm going to deal with my 1a. And I'm going to do the inverse. I'm going to subtract an a from both sides. So I've got 19 plus 55a. This cancels, and I'm left with a negative 36 on this side. So now I have my variable on one side. At this point, I'm back to a two-step equation. I'm going to put a box around my variable, so I leave it alone to the end. I'm going to subtract a 19 from both sides. Doing my inverse, I'm left with a 55a over here, and on this side, I have a negative 55. I am then going to get rid of my coefficient by doing the inverse. I'm going to divide both sides by 55. So I'm left with an a over here. And when I divide by 55 over here, I'm left with a negative 1. So we're left with a is equal to negative 1. Now remember, the final step whenever you're solving an equation is to substitute your answer back in to see if you've balanced the equation. So I'm going to erase everything here, and we're going to check and see. So I'm going to substitute in a negative 1. So I have negative 36 plus a negative 1 is equal to negative 2 plus 7 times 3 plus 8 times negative 1. And so on this side, negative 36 plus a negative 1 is negative 37. We get negative 2 plus 7. 3 plus 8 times a negative 1. 8 times a negative 1 is negative 8, plus 3 is negative 5. I then have a negative 37 is equal to negative 2, plus 7 times a negative 5 is negative 35. When I add that side together, I get negative 2 plus a negative 35 is negative 37. So as you can see, I've balanced my equation when I substituted I have solved my equation with a is equal to -1.